Most men will spend their entire lives without understanding what you're about to hear. Not because the information is inaccessible, but because it demands something few are willing to give. The courage to abandon everything you think you know about what awakens a woman's desire. You probably grew up believing that pleasing was the way, that being kind, attentive, and available would create an inevitable connection, that if you did everything right, her desire would come as a natural consequence. And then you did all of that, and still, something didn't work. Her interest cooled, the messages decreased. The look that once sparkled became polite, distant, and you were left wondering where you went wrong. The mistake isn't in what you did. The mistake is in what you didn't understand. Female pleasure doesn't work like male pleasure. It doesn't respond to obvious stimuli, linear logic, or constant availability. It obeys an invisible architecture built from psychological tension, emotional presence, and polarity. And until you master this architecture, you'll keep stumbling in the dark, repeating the same patterns, and harvesting the same empty results. David Dida, author of The Way of the Superior Man, dedicated decades to studying the dynamic between masculine and feminine. One of his most powerful conclusions is this: a woman opens to pleasure only when she feels a man's total presence. Not physical presence, inner presence. The sensation that he is completely there, without fear, without hesitation, without the need for approval. A grounded stillness that doesn't ask to be accepted. Dada argues that the feminine constantly tests the masculine, not out of cruelty but instinct. She needs to know you can handle pressure, that you won't collapse at the first emotional turbulence. And when she senses that you can sustain that weight without wavering, something inside her relaxes, something opens, something surrenders. The tension dissolves into trust, and trust allows pleasure to emerge. What you're about to hear will likely contradict almost everything you've been taught. It reveals mechanisms operating in the shadows of the female mind, patterns she doesn't consciously recognize, yet responds to instinctively. Triggers exist that activate desire at levels reason cannot explain. I'm not offering formulas or empty promises. I'm showing you the truth. Raw, uncomfortable, liberating. What you do with it afterward is your decision. Chapter 1. The fatal error that transforms desire into repulsion. Pay attention. This single mistake destroys more attraction than any physical flaw, shyness, or lack of money. Silent, invisible, and often unnoticed until it's too late. The mistake is trying too hard to please. It seems harmless, even noble. After all, you were taught women like kind, attentive men who do everything for them. So you followed that script. You agreed when you disagreed, laughed at jokes that weren't funny, changed your opinions to gain approval, asked what she wanted, where to go, what to do. You systematically placed her desires above yours. Believing this would create connection, you unknowingly communicated the opposite. The more you try to please, the more she pulls away. The more available you are, the less she desires you. This isn't female cruelty, it's biology. A 2019 study in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology by Gurrit Birnbaum revealed that partners seen as excessively eager to please were rated as less sexually attractive. Even if considered good partners for stable relationships, sexual desire for overly responsive men was significantly lower. Excessive availability signals reduced value. I need you more than you need me. The female nervous system detects these signals instinctively, not consciously. If she senses approval-seeking, fear of displeasing, hesitation, her sexual tension dissolves. Mystery vanishes. Predictability kills desire. Female pleasure isn't born from calculated kindness. It's born from tension. Tension exists when there's unpredictability, when she can't fully figure you out, when there's space she feels drawn to cross, but isn't sure she will. Think, when was the last time you maintained silence without filling it? Held her gaze for several seconds without looking away? Said no to her request simply because you didn't want to? If you can't remember, the problem is clear. Eliminating approval seeking doesn't mean being arrogant, cold, or disrespectful. It means refusing to abandon yourself for acceptance, having an internal center strong enough that her opinion doesn't determine your self-worth. It means occupying space without apologizing for existing. When you remove the need to be accepted, a paradox happens. You become more desirable. She senses you don't need her to feel complete. This triggers something primitive she cannot control. The desire to win your attention, to be chosen by you, to feel special in your eyes. True pleasure awakens from this dynamic, not from constant giving. The first step to awakening genuine pleasure isn't learning a technique. It's eliminating the poison you carry inside. Neediness, validation seeking, and the belief that her love can save you from yourself. Chapter 2. The Invisible Architecture of Female Desire. What separates men who awaken obsession from men who receive indifference isn't appearance, money, or status. It's understanding the hidden architecture of her mind. Female pleasure isn't like a switch. You can't turn it on with a button. It's a complex construction, starting long before touch, kiss, or seductive words. Most men ignore this phase, seeking results without understanding the process. Neuroscientist Meredith Chivers at Queen's University studied female arousal extensively. Women respond to psychological context, emotional safety, and connection, not just physical stimulus. Presence is as crucial as action. You may have done everything technically right, said the right words, touched the right places, followed the script, but still she didn't respond. Present physically but absent in surrender, leaving you confused. The problem was never technique. It was the absence of something no technique can replace: the quality of your presence. Every gesture, silence, tone, and decision transmits signals to her nervous system instantly. Evolutionary biologist Robert Trivers introduced asymmetric parental investment. Women invest more biologically in reproduction, equipping them with rigorous instinctual selection criteria. They read behavioral signals, not just appearance. People naturally respond to cues that signal confidence, emotional stability, and reliability. These cues are often noticed subconsciously. Rational arguments or appearances alone rarely override them. How you carry yourself from the very first moment matters. Your tone of voice, decisiveness, and calmness under pressure all communicate strength and reliability. These behaviors signal this person is capable, grounded, and trustworthy. When these signals are clear, others feel more at ease, open, and receptive. True influence comes from presence, not pressure. Showing calm confidence and respect for others' space encourages connection without forcing it. Leadership isn't about control. It's about clarity, knowing what you want, and creating a safe, supportive environment for collaboration and trust. Meaningful connection comes when others feel they can rely on you emotionally, mentally, and energetically, without needing to carry the responsibility of your confidence for you. What we've discussed so far is just the beginning. Understanding human behavior deeply requires more than surface-level advice. It's about applying principles consistently and thoughtfully. I've created a structured system called the Seduction Code that combines psychology, neuroscience, and practical real-world strategies for building confident, authentic relationships. The system helps you understand social dynamics, communicate effectively, and foster genuine connection. If you want to interact with confidence and clarity, the link is in the description or pinned comment. Chapter 3. What really awakens the pleasure she hides. This may contradict everything modern society taught you. It might make you uncomfortable, but if you can set your ego aside, your understanding of female desire will never be the same. A woman's pleasure doesn't depend on how much you do for her. It depends on how much she feels for you. What she feels is directly tied to the tension you create and sustain, the subtle emotional energy that precedes connection. Not negative tension, not conflict, but emotional tension. the sensation that something is about to happen, that flutter before a kiss, that delicious uncertainty about your next move. Without this, there is comfort, not desire. David Buss, professor of evolutionary psychology at the University of Texas, studied sexual selection worldwide. He found women respond to social dominance, protective capacity, emotional stability, and the ability to generate emotional excitement. Men who create moments of intensity, breaking monotony, surprising her, avoiding predictable scripts, trigger stronger attraction responses than men who offer only safety and stability. Tension transforms interest into desire. Two Canadian psychologists, Donald Dutton and Arthur Aaron, conducted the famous suspension bridge experiment. Men on a high, unstable bridge felt more attraction to an attractive female researcher than men on a safe bridge. The study shows that the brain often misattributes physiological arousal. When activated, heart racing, breath quickening, near an attractive person, the body interprets it as attraction. Emotional intensity amplifies desire. In practice, you don't need suspension bridges. But you must understand that her pleasure is tied to the emotional intensity you can generate in interactions. Predictable men who never surprise fail to activate this arousal. Charged silence is one of the most underrated tools. Maintaining tension without breaking it, holding eye contact a few seconds too long, letting a provocative question hang, creates arousal her brain associates with attraction. She feels something intense in your presence and associates you with it. You stop being just another man, becoming memorable. Most men do the opposite. They flee tension, fill silence, and deflect seriousness, killing desire before it starts. Learning to sustain tension isn't easy. It requires internal control, tolerance of discomfort, and confidence to avoid needing immediate validation. But mastering it changes everything. You stop chasing and create a magnetic field that draws her in. Especially in moments of silence where other men would crumble, your presence becomes dominant. The pleasure she hides isn't behind words or techniques. It's behind your ability to make her feel, to generate tension she can't ignore. Without tension, there's only comfort. Comfort doesn't generate attraction. With tension, unpredictability, and controlled presence, you become the man she can't stop thinking about. Desire is awakened through feeling, not effort. Conclusion: the man she can't forget. Knowledge alone isn't enough. You've learned the mistakes that destroy attraction, the invisible architecture of female desire, and the role of emotional tension. Now it must transform into action. You're here because something inside knows you possess dormant magnetism, buried under doubt and frustration. Carl Jung called this individuation, integrating your hidden, rejected, or denied parts to become a complete, magnetic man. The truly magnetic man doesn't hide weaknesses, he knows and masters them. He descends into his own shadow, emerges transformed, and projects energy felt by everyone around him. Presence replaces pretension. Solidity replaces insecurity. The discomfort you may feel isn't wrong, it's right. It's the first tremor of old structures cracking. Most men flee this discomfort, blaming women, society, or luck. You're still here. That says something about your readiness to grow. A woman doesn't want perfection. Perfection is boring. It doesn't generate tension or desire. What she wants is a present man, one who knows himself, holds her emotionally, and doesn't need her to feel complete, but chooses her anyway. This man isn't a movie character or unattainable fantasy. He exists within you, waiting to be activated. Activation requires method, understanding, and deep mastery of the patterns that govern female attraction and desire. That's why I created something different. The Seduction Code. Not shallow tips or tricks, but a complete system based on behavioral psychology, neuroscience of desire, and techniques tested to activate attraction in real-world situations. The Seduction Code teaches you to read her unconscious signals, create tension in a calibrated way, and guide her desire without appearing forced. It gives a complete map of the female mind, so you never have to guess what she wants. This knowledge isn't available elsewhere. Not in generic self-help books, not in repetitive videos. It's gathered in one place for men ready to stop improvising and start mastering the game of attraction with precision. The link is in the description or pinned comment. The choice is yours. But remember, most men will spend their lives without understanding what truly awakens a woman's desire, repeating mistakes and harvesting the same results. You can follow the majority or choose a different path. The decision to act is what separates men who remain unnoticed from men who become unforgettable. Your potential is dormant, but it can be activated with understanding and method. Every principle shared so far, from eliminating neediness to sustaining tension, is designed to shift your energy from chasing approval to commanding attention. The magnetism you seek is cultivated, not borrowed from techniques or chance. When you internalize these principles, you stop being predictable. Silence becomes a tool, tension becomes a bridge to desire, and presence becomes the medium through which she experiences pleasure she cannot rationally explain. Your worth is no longer determined by her validation. You create space without apologizing, act without fear of rejection, and lead interactions with clarity. Desire awakens naturally when she senses a man secure in himself and in control. The man who can hold emotional space, who understands the architecture of her desire, and who generates controlled tension, becomes unforgettable. He's no longer one among many. He's the man she cannot stop thinking about. This isn't magic, luck, or superficial charm. It's applied knowledge of psychology, neuroscience, and behavioral patterns. When executed consistently, it transforms your presence, your interactions, and the way she perceives you. Most men will ignore this truth. They'll continue blaming themselves, women, or circumstances. You've chosen to stay, to absorb, and to act. That alone sets you apart. What you do next determines whether you remain ordinary or become extraordinary. A woman doesn't seek perfection, she seeks presence. A man who knows himself, holds her emotionally, and chooses her without needing her completes her at a deep level. That presence, not effort or status, awakens desire and keeps her captivated. This man is real, not a fantasy. He exists within you, waiting to be activated. Activation requires method, understanding, and mastery of the patterns that govern female attraction and desire, not improvisation or luck. The Seduction Code isn't a collection of tips. It's a system built on behavioral psychology, neuroscience, and real-world tested techniques. It teaches you to read her unconscious signals and generate desire in a calibrated, powerful way. You gain a complete map of female desire, so you never have to guess what to do. This knowledge isn't found in books, generic self-help content, or repeated cliches. It's gathered in one place for men ready to master attraction. The link is in the description or pinned comment. The decision to access it is yours. Most men spend their lives unaware of what truly awakens a woman's desire. You can choose to follow them or take the path to mastery and magnetism. Everything shared, the mistakes that kill attraction, the invisible architecture of desire, and the role of emotional tension, is useless without action. Knowledge alone is entertainment. Application creates results. Your dormant potential can be activated. Rejections, frustrations, and doubts have buried it. But the principles you've learned can awaken the magnetism within you. Mastery is a choice, and it begins with action. Carl Jung called this individuation integrating your hidden, rejected, or denied parts. The magnetic man isn't one who hides flaws, but one who knows and masters them, projecting presence and solidity that doesn't need to be announced. Discomfort isn't a warning, it's a signal you're growing. Most men flee discomfort, blaming women, society, or luck. You stayed. That signals readiness. The man she desires isn't perfect, but fully present, aware, and unshakable. Activation of this man requires understanding, method, and deep mastery of desire's mechanisms. The Seduction Code provides these tools. Most men will never reach this level. They'll remain ordinary. You have the choice to become extraordinary.